Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you are in the world. I am going to attach a statement done by the latest task force in the US by Joe Biden and senators regarding online harassment, cyberbullying, etc. I think it's important. And it is something that the Kashgern and Justice family have been putting out on their own channel. And I'll put a link to their channel there. This upload that I'm doing today, however, refers to Mr. Frankie Ruzek. It is 4 years plus since his sister Shanann, his nieces Bella and Cece, and his nephew Nico were hideously murdered by husband and father. The case is closed, and the perpetrator of this hideous crime is in prison where he belongs. Those are the facts 4 years on. Like thousands of people over the last 4 years since it hit social media platforms and the media, we have seen harassment, hideous harassment and cyberbullying to an unimaginable level against Frankie Ruzek and his parents, Mr. Frank Ruzek and mother, Sandra Ruzek. I don't want to go over the case again because I think they've been through enough. And if anyone wants to research the facts, they are there to be found. What is happening and still happening to this very day are people, drama creators such as AD Armchair Detective and another, and several others actually, who are using old messages by Frankie Ruzek and posting them within their videos in order to create views, etc., as recent. They are not recent. They were done well before this really hit social media by Frankie. Can you imagine, or try to imagine, the absolute pain and distress that will go on for the rest of the Ruzek family's life after the annihilation of their loved ones? This is not a pain that will ever go away. What I cannot understand, and this is my opinion, for which I am entitled under fair use, etc., is the continued harassment of Frankie Ruzek. This is a man who has lost his family, and yet people harass him. AD says that he should be over it by now. It's 4 years. And whines that he is the one suffering. AD, that is. Which is utter nonsense. If anyone has any compassion or empathy at all for a family, for Frankie, who have lost people in this way who they love to the deepest part of their soul and will always, and miss them always. Has anyone got any compassion? They will stop listening to this sheer nonsense. I'm going to attach a upload which was put out by the Cash Gurn and Justice Family channel a while back regarding the task force in USA set up by Joe Biden and senators to try to fight against online harassment, cyberbullying, racism, etc. And it's worth a listen. Mainly, I'm going to put up the latest upload by a brilliant creator, well, two creators actually, because they have done it together, Tinksy Bell and Cerebellum Quandary, debunking AD attacks on Frankie using his words from 4 years ago as if they were done yesterday. The Ruzek family, I have actually seen way back when this case first broke. I saw them go in to AD's channel and ask him to stop spreading misinformation and making up stories, etc., to create views about their family and what happened. They said, and have said, in news conferences, by all means, you can speculate on the case, but use the facts. Don't speculate making up stuff. Stop it. Please. I shall never forget the distress of watching Mr. Frank Ruzek a year on after the murders in front of the world media, expressing how much they have been harassed by people about their family that they've lost. And we are 4 years on, as I say. So here we are again, folks, with continued harassment of victims and their families. But there is a growing number of creators, small channels, subscribers, etc., who are beginning slowly more and more and more to follow law. Here in the UK, the Online Harassment Safety Bill has been going on for a year and has recently had all submissions done. They've had talks with all the heads of the UK social media platforms. They have talked to people who have gone through unimaginable pain by online bullies, to the extent that some people have actually taken their lives. So that is in progress about what they are doing. And so now is this task force in the USA. I urge you to listen to the Senator's speech, which I'll attach, and I urge you to watch and listen to Tinksy Bell and Cerebellum Quandary's video. Thank you. Truth matters, facts matters, integrity matters. Take care. Carrie Pink.
Many of our laws have not caught up with the advances in technology. So as a United States Senator, I introduced legislation to make these acts a federal crime. And thanks to the recent, and our President, Joe Biden, and the recent reauthorization of the Violence Against Women Act, for the first time, cyber exploitation victims can sue their abusers in federal civil court. And this is progress. Yet, we still have so much more work to do to protect people from online harassment and abuse, which is why the work of this task force is so important. Context. Well, the internet is an essential part of life in the 21st century. Can't get around it. Can't get around without it. And for far too many people, and Sloan told her story, the internet is a place of fear. 1 in 3 women under the age of 35 report being sexually harassed online. Over half of the LGBTQ plus people in our country are survivors of severe harassment. Nearly 1 in 4 Asian Americans report being called an offensive name, usually motivated by racism, being called an offensive name online. And black people who have been harassed online in our country are 3 times more likely to be targeted, again, because of their race. No one should have to endure abuse just because they are attempting to participate in society. So let us be clear. No one should be afraid that an abuser will use their private personal data, or that a person's private personal data will be used against them. And all people deserve to use the internet free from fear. This task force, then, will tackle a threat that has been far too real for far too many people for far too long. And the recommendations of this group and the extended group of experts and those who have been advocates in this space for so long, the collective work will help modernize the federal government's response to violence against women and people of all genders. It will lead to more evidence-informed policies and interventions, and it will support more federal funding to address online harassment and abuse, including grants to train law enforcement and prosecutors. It is incumbent on all of us, government, local law enforcement, and the tech sector, to respond to the task at hand with a sense of urgency. So I thank you all for your tireless fight and for your advocacy, for your strength to prevent these harms from happening in the first place and to hold perpetrators accountable. And the President and I look forward to hearing all of your recommendations. Thank you all so very much. Thank you.
Once you realize that there's really no good reason for a family member or anything like that associated to do it, and then you have another person that isn't really known much at all by the family, seen in the room abducting the kid, then comes back later, you then have to realize that that person is solely responsible for this entire load of crap here. Imagine if something weird happened like that at your house, and you got idiots like Molly Golightly out there sending people up to drive by your house to look in and, you know, oh my God, oh, and they're throwing stuff at you. All right? I think it's embarrassing. And they've done this in many other cases too. You know, nobody really gives a shit what they're saying, but once they cover these, boy, they're the most popular people in the world because they'll entertain every damn conspiracy theory that's out there, okay? It's sick. And then gloms on to the family members of the victim so that they can call in and say all the shit that they want to say about this other person, when really it has nothing to do, in my opinion. I'm not saying there isn't a chance that there's some wild theory out there, but it's irresponsible for this case to be covered the way that she's doing. I always disappear, I always take off when those certain people start covering a case, because then it turns into a shit show at that point. Her and about 4 other people. Absolute garbage, okay? I haven't been reading the chat to see why some people were frustrated with the chat. I hope everybody's trying to be rational, not doing the stupid conspiracy theory questioning stuff. Can't stand it. Yeah. Oh, Molly Golightly just texted me upset. Yes, I did. I think the way you cover these cases is an embarrassment. Okay? I do think that. Okay? I did just say that. I think the way you treated, you came onto my show when we were covering the Watts case, not the Watts case, the Hart family case, and you went, oh my God, oh, and you stormed off the stage like a lunatic. Now you're covering a case that's way worse because that was all fake, what you did before. You cover cases, Molly, for the views and the likes and so forth. I cover cases because it's in the news, or they're cold cases. I think she's an idiot.
Those of you that haven't seen the the CBS interview with Frank, I'm going to be showing that because it's actually going to follow on from what I'm about to show you. It's only a little 4-minute clip, so it's quite interesting, and it backs up this. Frankie Jr. thought it was a good idea. Yet again, God knows what he was on when he actually did this. But he's done it again, everyone. He's given us content. This is what he does. Hey everyone. I'm asking for some assistance, please. How about we give these lowlifes a taste of their own medicine? Let's call their phones until they have to change their numbers as well. Well, just please don't threaten them. Don't want to stoop to their level. But this is getting out of hand and getting old very fast. I just don't understand what I did to deserve this harassment. Pity party. Pity party. Here we go. I don't want pity with 2 T's from anyone. I just want them to see what it feels like and to get even, so to speak. Thank you. That is a threat. Everyone, a true threat. And Tiger, it's exactly what you wrote when you messaged me, inciting hate.
he's responsible for people phoning me in the middle of the night. He's asked, to be fair to him, he says, don't threaten them, but please phone their number. He's got people to chase me down on his own for 3 years. This little stunt by Frankie, I've had over 1,000 missed calls. And if I do answer them, there's silence on the other end or threats. Month after month, when I'm live, missed calls, waking me up in the middle of the night because I've got to keep my phone on because of my family. No caller ID, missed call, relentlessly. Well done, Frankie. That was a great comment to do, wasn't it? Because you've got crazies that will listen to you and do your bidding. I've had to cope with the other end of it. I understand the loss of your sister, but this and wanting to take me to court, do you realise what you've done to me and my family and my subscribers? When are you going to realise it's been 4 years? If you're going to take me to court, hurry up, because I'm sending this to the police under UK law.
He has got it. He's got everything that he needs to go for stalking and win.
Plus, it'll go against Frankie Jr. with him saying, let these pieces of lowlives have a taste of their own medicine. Let's phone them, but don't threaten them. Imagine if he did say threaten them. But exactly, you know what I mean? Calling people lowlives and what? You know, who do they think they are to be calling people liars and evil souls and lowlives? You know, you better not point a finger like that at me. Because I've got a good bloodline here, and I am not going to let anybody